What's going on, guys? Cody from Motorcycle MD. Welcome to another video. In this one we'll be talking specifically about why your bike is garbage because your tank is completely trashed with rust. Everything comes down to the tank when you really think about it. It's one job, which is a simple job, to hold the fuel that powers your vehicle forward. As much as we'd like to think that our bikes run off of hopes and dreams, they need fuel. And when that fuel is contaminated with rust, it will wreck pretty much everything inside. It can be an absolute deal breaker for what the next move is for that bike. Now that we've gotten the brutal truth out of the way, there are solutions, obviously. I've done videos on solutions that I've used in the past that help prolong the time that you get to actually enjoy the bike. Eventually, a powdery substance will make its way into your fuel valve, into your filter, potentially clogging the filter, restricting flow to the carbs, or if it makes it past all of that, into the carbs, which begins to pool up in the bottom of the bowls, clog the idle jets, and then boom, you're done. Keep in mind that you're also sending this powdery, irony substance down into the cylinders. Could it potentially be damaging the inside of the motor in the long run? Who's to say? But without a good tank, you won't have a good running bike for very long. It's just the way that it is. So in the effort to solve the problem, we have to seal the tank. I've never personally done it, but I've always been looking for a good product out there that's affordable and that holds up to what they claim that it can. So it's time for me to try a coating like this out for myself. I haven't done it. There are plenty of YouTube videos out there of people doing different brands and products and processes, but I found one that was affordable. And what they claim to do on their website with the products that they provide, the fact that they do have a motorcycle or a gas tank sealing kit that is affordable, I reached out to them, asked them if I could use some of their products in the video and give them a shout out if it does work well or if I feel like it's worth it. So not only did they answer back, very friendly people, spoke to a guy named Randy on the phone, customer service was great. They sent me a kit to use on one of the 5 tanks that I have to do this on. So we will break this video up into multiple sections because, man, I ran into some crap. Oh my gosh, yes I do. No! When it came to the tank I'm using in particular for this video, so I'm going to break it up because it was quite a process. Not because of KBS, it's just because of the tank. So if you're looking for a solution to solve the problem that you know that you have and you seem to keep avoiding, which is a rusty tank, no matter how cool your bike looks, it's really not that cool if it runs like garbage. So if you are interested in looking for some type of kit to do this along with me or your tank needs it, because I know how this video ultimately turns out, they have a great product. So I do want to give KBS a huge shout out for just the customer service that they've provided for me. I am super impressed with the products that they did give me, and I am not making any money off of their products at all. Okay, they just sent me their stuff. I wanted to try it out, but they were even nice enough to give a discount link for anyone else who may want to try it. Again, not affiliated, not making money, just a discount code that they wanted to give out. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. We do videos on motorcycle repair, motorcycle builds, a bunch of different projects going on. And if you would like more help on your motorcycle when it comes to maintenance, repair, service, stuff that you should be doing on your bike, in the description below is a link to a free course. 40 plus videos on how to do it well and learn more about your bike and what it needs. Totally free for you to grab. Also, I just loaded up some fresh patches in the Motorcycle MD apparel section of the website in the link below. Grab some patches. They're 3x3 iron-ons. I put them on some hats, book bags, vests, whatever. Got 2 different colors for them. Check them out. Support Motorcycle MD and grab them while they're still available. Also, this whole process of the tank was done in multiple different days. Okay, so I may be cutting in and out some footage, just trying to edit it all to make sense, but we will be trying to either break it up into step 1, step 2, step 3 videos. Might try to crunch 2 and 3 into one. We'll see how the content turns out. Ultimately, I want this to be a helpful tutorial walkthrough on using their products to the best of their ability and not just giving you guys one crazy time lapse that says this is what it was, this is what it is now. I think a step-by-step process will be a little bit more helpful when it comes to these sealing type videos because I've seen a couple of them and I just didn't like them. So let's try to do it better. That being said, we'll grab the box that they sent me, we'll open it up, see what's inside and talk about it, and then we'll get started. Let's do it. So we have a CB550 with a tank that is in desperate need of some attention. I'm gonna show you guys a couple of quick shots of what people don't seem to realize when it comes to when you put fresh gas inside of a tank that is gross on the inside, rusty, has varnish, it's just nasty. It's not clean at all. And what it can do to a carb job that is good. I have some pictures of taken that was done after a carb job was just completed. Let me tell you guys, no, there's not a fuel filter in the world that is going to cure this problem. Okay, you can put inline filters all you want. Filter in the tank, 2 filters in your fuel line. All you're gonna do is eventually restrict the flow because the powder that you can't see necessarily in a mason jar when you take the gas out is what is making its way and coating everything on its way in. That means your idle jets, your main jets, your emulsion tubes, your carb bowls, all of it. A nasty tank will ruin any work that you put into making this thing run right. So we're gonna put this stuff to the test. From these shots, you can see the condition of the tank. Not too bad. I've seen way worse, but there is some serious cancery rust patches going on throughout this tank. What we can't see and what people often miss is the sealing of the tank that gets missed so often. All you're looking down is inside the tank and oh cool, it looks clean. But the sealing is completely caked in like a burnt brownie crust of rust that we have to make sure we get out. And again guys, there is no silver bullet to doing this type of work. It's a process. So if you're going to do it, make sure you take a day off. Make sure you take 6 hours out of your day and just be prepared to be working on your tank for that amount of time. This is not a set it and forget it and come back in a day or two and rinse out and now we coat it. No, the only almost permanent way to fix your tank is to go through a process like this, unfortunately. So here's the kit that we get. Cycle Tank Sealer Kit contains KBS Clean 1 quart to remove gum, sludge, and varnish. Rust Blast 1 quart for surface etching and rust removal. Then the Gold Standard Tank Sealer to 8 ounce for fuel, impervious seal, detailed instructions to guarantee the job gets done right. Complete KBS kit. 3-step system, clean, blast, tank, sealer. Seals up to 5 gallons. I do apologize if the audio on my videos have been a little bit wonky. I refuse to sweat just for the sake of audio in my garage. So my AC is running, you might hear it, you might not. So, box open, we have our tank sealer. Seals, seams, and pinholes. The gold standard for stopping rust, impervious to alcohol blended fuels, flexible, non-porous coating. All-purpose cleaner and degreasers. I guess this is to get rid of the varnish. Industrial strength cleaning action, guaranteed pre-paint performance, non-corrosive, non-flammable. Concentrate makes up to 10 times its volume. And the blast. Pre-paint primer, powerful rust remover and etching, leaves a zinc phosphate coating, extends standing time between prep and painting, that flash rust issue, non-corrosive, non-flammable, biodegradable. They even give us a rubber banded popsicle stick for mixing, paintbrush or getting up on the rim of the gas tank, I don't know, and even some gloves, and the dreaded instructions. Made in the USA, they even give instructions for fiberglass tanks, stripping tanks, cleanup, exterior patching. I'll go through the painstaking part of making sure that I read all of this and give you guys all of the key details when it comes to the process so we can get this done right the first time. These instructions, I would say, answer just about any question you think you might have before you even thought it. So kudos to KBS for having a really easy to read, very straightforward, important set of instructions for each process and what the main key and points are of it, and even answering a little FAQ on the back of certain scenarios that you may run into. It's awesome. Good job. So the first process will be to get rid of all the varnish that's inside the tank and the gas that was in there. Even if you think there's no gas and that it's dried out, it's been like that forever, you still need to do this process. So 1 to 1, we'll pour this full into the tank, add hot water, add that in, and then we will agitate the tank. This is when I'll add in my little timing chain or whatever nuts and bolts you may have if you need it, if there is rust buildup all around it. And this is where we're going to rotate the tank about every 5 to 10 minutes, and this would be considered more of the soaking process for the cleaner. It does say that heavy gum and varnish, like really nasty puddled varnish in the bottom of tanks, which I have seen, may require up to 24 hours of soaking, but they do want to make sure that it's important for you. If you do have that, that's when those agitators really help. If you rotate the tank nice and slow, every hour or so, 30 minutes, just to keep the stuff wet, because we're not going to be filling the tank all the way to the top. We're just going to be rotating it throughout its process to get everything nice and clean. Then we will flush that all out. Okay, now sealing the tank is a couple different ways you can do this. They do say that duct tape or electrical tape works well as cork plugs or rubber plugs. I was able to speak with the guys over at KBS, and I asked about paint because I know that that's a nerve-wracking thing to deal with. And he assured me that if some does make it onto the tank, just clean it off as soon as possible. Don't let it sit there and come back the next day with it all covered in this fluid and now your paint's gone. And because some of this stuff is water-based, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but just make sure you keep your process dry. I will back up and say when it comes to the 1-to-1 process, if you don't want to use all of it, it's still 1-to-1. So if you want to use half of it, pour it all inside the tank with the water, you're going to want to be rotating it more often because you want to make sure that all the walls are getting this solution to help clean it. Because they mentioned that if it does not get as clean as you think it should be, you can go back and do it again with this stuff. But if you use it all in one go, then you might not be able to do it again because you have to order another kit. So empty the tank, repeat as often as necessary. Remember, the cleaner the tank, the stronger the adhesion of the tank sealer. After a thorough cleaning, rinse generously with water until the solution runs clear and the tank is let dry. In between every step they wrote for best results, please be patient during each step of the procedure. Do not rush. It does not look like this tank has been sealed, but you can use this stuff on a sealed tank, but you have to completely remove that sealer that's inside. In the instructions, they tell you what chemicals you can use to help that process to get this thing fully cleaned out. Let's say the sealer failed on another product that someone used. We just got to get that out before we use this product. So I'm excited. If this product works, I'm going to be pumped. Like I said, I have like 10 other tanks I have to do, and I'm going to wear that company out with some of their products because I will need them for my tanks for sure. All right, so got a little preppage, got a bucket. That's what we'll use the second part for. Drain it into there. I did grab some isopropyl alcohol. I want to clean this surface up. Apparently tape is enough to do it. Some nice quality duct tape. We'll see. We'll find out real quick if it's not. I did grab a set of paper towels to help expedite the drying process. Even though I'm going to let it sit and dry as it needs to, getting all the water out of the big amount of water out of there as I can will be best, as well as some tape, some nice Gorilla duct tape. And let's prep this thing up. So use a little bit of alcohol here, so I can clean it up a little bit better. Alright, so this is our step one. This will be our diluted process with our agitator. There's the line right there. Got some hot water. Crack this. I also got my agitators. So this is my little cam chains that I got. Little baby chains. Down the hatch. Woo! It's gonna funnel. Oh, this stuff is hot. I don't think you need the water to be this hot, but it's hot. Alright, so our solution's in kind of like a creamy color, but it's probably just because of the hot water. Now it's cleaning stuff up. Again, I really don't think they're emphasizing boiling water, but why not? If you really think about how the tank is formed, you got your walls, then you have your tunnel on the inside. So trying to scrape the inner wall of that tunnel, the outer section of this, the bottom floor of that, then work my way up here, put the tank on its back, try to scrub this part here. Same exact thing on the other side. But we'll let this sit for 10 minutes or so, and we'll rinse and we'll just keep doing the same thing. We'll just keep letting it soak. We'll probably do a good few hours soak. We'll just keep on cooking. I'll let you guys know how long we sit. So my seal did break loose, as you can see, which sucks, but it's okay. I think we've soaked it for long enough. This is completely soaked. That's what you get for leaving things unattended. And two. Alright, we'll take this outside, and I'm going to run a hose straight into it. And we're just going to keep the hose running on it, let it overflow, fill out, and flush out. Alright, so let's see if we can't get a money shot where we're at right now. This is just with stage 1. I'm getting all of the varnish and the gas and oil and contaminated metal stuff all out of there. We gotta dry this thing out. Kept flushing, got a lot of big flakes that you see. A lot of that crust is gone. I did spend a little bit of time with a little wire brush, just making sure I can get as much as I can to help it out. Definitely need to go through the derusting process with the etching, and we'll see how far that gets us. If I feel like it's not good to coat, then we're not going to coat. Might have to order some more stuff, but we'll see. What is making me a little nervous is that I am seeing signs that this might have been coated before. Just up in here is a little weird. I found a little piece of something in here, but I mean anywhere else it's virtually, I don't see any other signs of a sealer. And if it is sealed, or if it was sealed and I don't get that up, I'm nervous that I won't do this stuff. Oh man, I'm just now seeing this part right here. Son of a biscuit. I did not think that this thing had been sealed. That does not look like rust to me. That looks like someone tried sealing it. Looks like someone did a really good job of removing it though. So I'm gonna spend some time. We gotta rewind a little bit. This company does sell a stripper, a tank stripper for those types of coatings. Those make me the most nervous because that will ruin your paint. Look at that. Evidence. That looks like a red coat or something. Whatever it is, it was a sealant, which sucks. That sucks. Alright, well, I will not proceed with the second one yet until I spend a lot of time seeing what I can do to help this thing out. I don't see anything. Oh my gosh, yes I do. No! They're sealing in it. Dang it! Alright, so with the discovery of knowing that it was sealed previously, it really screwed a lot of the process up. Not only did I use all of the detergent and cleaner that they used from the first run, so I had to get more, because after I finished cleaning the tank out of the sealant and using that stripping compound to get as much as I possibly could out, I went through 2 different stripping products to try to get as much material as I could out. There wasn't too much in there, but me being as anal as I know I am, I want to make sure the job is done right. I even crafted some cool little hooked scrapers to get way down into the bottom of the tank to scrape all of the walls as much as I could. It was a process. It was annoying, but now we have arrived. So I just put the tank through its first step again to get all of the chemicals that I put in back out, and I have flushed that all out until it's nice and clean as per the instructions, and we will go into phase 2, which is the etching process.